I've witnessed it too many times. An employee gets injured on the job, and their employer turns a cold shoulder to them. No communications, no instructions, no empathy. And then the employer wonders why morale is poor and why claims have a less than stellar end result. Look, worker injuries can happen. We work as hard as we can to train employees, have proper safety devices, and an ongoing culture of safety. But there will be times when an employee is rushing to complete a job, where they take a shortcut, or they fail to understand the job entirely, and someone gets injured. In many cases, this will be the first time a worker needs to deal with workers' compensation and a work-related injury. It's not the time to turn a cold shoulder or make the process institutional, or worse, turn it over entirely to your insurance company. Now is the time for compassion and communications, especially if you want to build goodwill with employees, manage expectations properly, and end up with the right results. You've got to put yourself in the shoes of that injured worker. What's going through their minds once the emergency of the situation has passed and they're in a hospital bed or resting at home? It's probably going to be fundamental things like, who's going to pay all these medical bills? What happens to my wages? Can my family afford to pay the bills while I'm away from work? Do I have a job to go back to when I'm able to go to work? Was this my fault? What happens next? These are fear-based issues running through the minds of an injured worker. Fear is a powerful motivator which can drive good people to make poor choices, like hire a workers' comp attorney and drag out the duration and the cost of a claim unnecessarily. I'm not saying that an attorney is never a good idea, but in my experience, it's mostly unnecessary and costly for the worker and the employer. The point is that removing fear from the onset with the right communications plan can pay tremendous dividends down the road. So how do you do it? What type of messages are included in a communications plan? Every employer and workforce is different, but generally speaking, here are the broad topics you want to talk about with an injured worker once the emergency of the situation has settled down. First, explain how the workers' comp system works, including the paying of all medical and rehab costs as well as paying for a portion of lost wages. If your company has supplemental insurance such as AFLAC or disability coverage, this should be the time to include that in the conversation as well. Number two, emphasize that the employer's priority is to get the injured worker healthy and back to work. Their job is safe and they're a valued member of the team. Third, if the injury was serious and involves a rehab period, tell the employee that you will try to find them light or modified duty work to get them back to the company as soon as you can and as soon as the medical provider says it's okay to do so. Fourth, ask the employee for assistance in the accident investigation. Things like, how did this happen? What can be done to prevent this from happening to a coworker? Is there a better way to perform the task that led to this injury? Engaging them at this level validates their value. Fifth, help the worker manage the medical process, including transportation to and from appointments, keeping appointments, and etc. The road to getting a worker back to work can be challenging for some workers and their families, especially if English is not their primary language. If you provide assistance here, you'll look like a champ and everyone wins. Here's the bottom line. If you want better claims outcomes, it pays to engage an injured worker immediately following an injury. Reassurance and kindness go a long way to help stem legal involvement. It will help build rapport and goodwill between the injured worker, their family, and the employer. It'll help get that injured worker back to work sooner and on better terms. Resentment will be lessened and the general morale of all employees will increase. Improved morale is a key to improving productivity, which only helps enhance profitability. If employees are truly your most valuable asset, then a plan to get them back to work, communicating positively with them during a challenging time, is critical. If you find workers' comp claims or company safety an issue and you don't know how to deal with it, let's chat. I work with industrial companies around the New York metro area, large and small, with their workers' comp insurance and risk management programs. Not getting the support you really need? Think you're paying more for workers' comp than you really should be? Wonder if you can improve safety in the workplace? Then give me a call and let's chat. If I think we're a good fit for you and your firm, we'll engage and help you get on track. My contact info is coming up and is in the description below. Give me a call or drop me an email. I promise, no hardcore selling, just a conversation to see if we're a good fit. Thanks.